Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be working on the little tiny bathroom in the apartment. First thing we've got to do is we've got to get the bathtub installed so that we know where our framing is going to go for the walls. So to install the bathtub, we've got to dig up the P-trap that we buried before we did the concrete. So let's get digging. So I know you guys were wondering, this is the box you need for a good grip. So if you remember when we did the concrete floor, we filled this in with as sandy a soil we could find. And I'm really appreciating that now as I dig it back up. So we left this P-trap loose when we installed it so we could swivel it in a couple different directions in order to line up with the bathtub drain. So we haven't installed a bathtub in concrete before, and so I wasn't really sure how you get that drain lined up perfectly. And so this was the best idea I could come up with. Okay, so we didn't really know exactly where to put the drain for the bathtub. And I was worried that when we poured the concrete, that if we had the drain come up in a very specific spot,
right,
it would be wrong.
Yeah.
So I left this P-trap swivel loose so that we could maneuver this in a bunch of different positions, and hopefully one of them is the proper for the drain.
Okay.
So we're gonna put the bathtub in, we'll set the drain, it'll actually go right into that pipe, and we'll be able to set this exactly where it needs to be. Then we'll carefully lift the bathtub up, then I'll tighten that nut way down here, which will lock this swivel and stop bathtub water from draining into the ground.
Okay.
Because we don't want bathtub water to drain into this ground. We want the bathtub water to drain into the ground across the road in the drain field.
That's better ground.
All right, we got our P-trap angle perfect. So I'm gonna hold it still and tighten.
Your giant arms and hands. Just have to know that's what's happening.
All right, so that's now tight.
Okay.
So now,
Yeah, that box isn't designed to hold that much weight. A little sprinkling of the dirt.
sprinkling of the dirt. Get that packed down in around there so it doesn't move. Pack it with mud.
I should ask people in the comments if they can pick out our movie references. So what's that piece that you're gluing?
This is a ABS to compression style fitting. So this will glue onto the ABS.
Okay.
Like so. And then when we put the bathtub in, I conveniently reach through the wall and tighten this little fitting.
Good thing there's no wall there yet.
Yeah, sure does make it nice. Okay, so we leave that loose. We could even put this in the hole. No, put this over here.
Oh, okay.
When we put it in.
Okay.
Now we sweep.
Now we sweep.
Just sweep everything in the hole.
Yeah. I figured as much.
Not down the drain.
Okay.
Excellent.
Sweeper.
Okay, so just like before. Ready?
Yep.
Make sure all these are tight. Good.
Okay.
Hold on,
Yep.
let me readjust. Okay, down.
What's happening?
I'm gonna leave your end down.
Okay.
Come around over here on the outside. And just need to get that.
It's like like it needs to rock up more.
Up my side?
I can't feel where...
Up, you found the glue.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay.
There we go.
There.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we'll get it put in place before we tighten that up.
Get my glue off my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so push towards me. More. There we go. We're on. Are we on our lines? Nope. There's our line.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. So we are using PEX A or expansion PEX for all of our interior and in-ground plumbing fittings. I like those because the PEX has a memory, so if it does expand, it remembers where it was before and it will shrink back down. So where that benefits us in this freezing climate is that if this pipe ever does freeze, to a point, it will expand when it freezes and it won't split. It'll stretch, and then once it thaws, it'll contract back down. So in order to install those, use your PEX expansion tool, and you put a collar on. Or what are these called? These are called rings?
Rings.
PEX A rings. And then you expand it. And then before it shrinks, you put it up on the fitting until it gets to the stop.
Okay.
And you just hold it there for a second until it shrinks back down.
Nice. That's easy. That's pretty cool. Okay.
So we've got the bathtub in, and we put this lovely cardboard cover over it to protect it. So there is a nice bathtub under here. So now I've got the tub filler. I've got one end connected. I'm going to connect the other end to the shower valve. So we have our pressure treat cut for our base plate. We have our sill plate gasket on, our base plate gasket on, to frame in our extremely large master bathroom here. Now we're just gonna use some Capcons and get them anchored down to the floor. Here's Evan's window, the entry door, and into the bathroom. Man, that makes it look really small. Good morning. So there is rain in the forecast, which means we've got to get all of our drywall from outside in the gravel, bring it inside here. So to do that, or to prepare for that, we got all the outlets roughed in that are in this corner. And we started bringing in a couple sheets of drywall. Amy and I have a pretty good system down now. We're moving 2 sheets of drywall at a time because 1, that's how they come, and 2, they're a lot stronger when they're paired up. But makes them twice as heavy. But it's half as many trips, right, Amy?
So Jeff wants me to say that was easy, but it wasn't. Because, you know, we're being authentic, and that was not
That's
easy.
a lot of work. Woo. Right,
But
no,
it's all in.
it's all in.
And that was,
Oh,
let's
sort
see.
of. There's the,
Well, it's in the building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 trips.
Are you counting these?
Yep. So, and you didn't get to see the really awkward part.
the when we're
we only started filming once we got a system.
Once we had a system down, yeah. The first system did not work.
No.
So we regrouped and started over. Who's gonna hang all this? Good morning, everyone. It's a kind of drizzly day on the homestead, so we're gonna take this opportunity to cut out our stair jacks for our stairs going up to the loft. So these stairs are gonna be on a hinge up here at the loft so that we can hoist them up into the rafters when we're not using them. They may or may not end up always in the rafters, or they may or may not end up always down. We're not sure, but we'd like to have the option to do that. So the first step of finding out how to lay out our stairs is going to be to find the rise of the entire staircase. So the rise of the entire staircase is going to be the height from the floor to the height of the second floor. So, and ours is exactly 9 feet to the top of the OSB on the loft. So we take our 9 feet and we take out our trusty BH Max calculator. And so for stairs, we are going to do a rise of 9 feet, and that will tell us everything we need to know. We're going to have a run of 12 feet, and that gets us our stair tread depth and our stair riser actual height. And that gets us 10 and 11 sixteenths, or 10 and 5 sixteenths tread depth. So then our 11-inch treads will hang over a little bit.
That's fine. There's usually a little lip on stairs.
And then 7 and 3/16 rise is a pretty comfortable step.
Right.
So we take our 10 and 5/16 number, and these are stair stops.
Stair gauges.
Stair gauges. We take our trusty framing square and we grab our little stair gauges. These are made by Empire. They're great. They make it so you can have an exact measurement every time. Put those right on the framing square, and we're going to slide this down to 10 and 5/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16. Then you lock that back in there with the thumb screw. And that is our tread depth. Now we're going to do our tread rise, or our riser depth, riser height. That's what I meant to say. 1, 2, 3/16, 7 and 3/16. Get those locked down. So we're going to start at the top of our stairs and work our way down. So we've got our rise and our run. And move this to the other side. That gets us our cut. So we're going to cut all this, cut this. That's what's going to mount to our wall. And just so on and so forth. We make our way down the 2x12. Making sure that our points of our stairs are all lined up the same, because if I'm an 1/8 inch off on each stair, that can cause a big problem once I get to the bottom. And we want both sides of the staircase to be exactly the same, or as close to exactly the same as we can make them.
The song of the inverter.
Yeah. One of these days we'll read the instructions and figure out how to turn off that beep whenever the solar panels see sun.
Surprised they're seeing any sun.
Oh.
It's pretty
We're not sure
gray.
if they see sun.
They think they see sun.
Okay, so in the VH Max calculator, it told us that we were going to have 14 treads. So we know that by the time we get to 14 treads, we will be down here at the bottom. So we're going 7 3/16 tall. That's our same angle using our stops.
And there it is, the bottom of our step.
So now that we have both stair jacks laid out and penciled, we're going to start cutting them out. So some of the lines we'll cut completely, other lines we'll leave a notch that we'll have to get with our hand saw in order to get the triangle out. No pressure. So this piece here is going to be what rests on the floor. This is our first step. So now that we've cut all of our treads, we're going to cut all of our rises. And so to do that, we just come down from the top. And then because it's a beveled blade, we have to use our hand saw to finish the cut. Just like that. So we're using our cutoffs as a way to make our, where the treads are going to screw to a little wider, so that will keep the stair jacks from rolling on us. Keep things from splitting out, and might add a little bit of strength, but all in all, it's just a good use of our scrap wood.
Yes.
So because we are hinging the top of the staircase, so the staircase will lift, I need to have a good solid place to bolt those hinges to. So I'm going to double up this floor joist here where the hinges are going to lag screw into. So I've got my piece of sister board. Right into there, and just got to pound it into place.
So there we have a staircase.
That rises into the rafters.
Woo!
Look, a staircase. all the way up into the loft.
Just a little rain today, but it's much needed with all the fires that are going on in the area. Isn't that a bit of an overkill there?
Maybe, but it's the wrench I could find right now.
Oh. Well, whatever gets the job done.